Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, let's explore Deepseek harness. Let's understand what is it, why it became so popular. Let's install it, configure it, build our very first custom plugin on Deepseek harness. Let me tell you, this is a project that crossed 100k GitHub stars in just 2 days of time. To understand it, it took almost 10 years for Kubernetes to reach that 100k GitHub stars number. So it is very important to learn, especially in the period of harness engineering, because it is very much related to it. So make sure you watch this video till the end. Okay, let's start with what exactly is Deepseek harness. Very simple. It's another coding agent. Of course, if you go to their website, you see it. I mean, they call it as agent runtime, they call it as a coding environment. But end of the day, this is also a coding agent, just like Cloud Code, Codex, Copilot. Then why is it so different? Why it became very popular? So DeepSeek basically open source their entire agent harness. What is this harness? I'll come to that in just a couple of minutes. But they open source the entire agent harness. They announced it a couple of months back that they are going to do something like this. And once they did it, everybody started looking at the project. The other reason, they made the complete request traceable. So the observability on the platform, let's say user asks a question, like you provide a prompt. The coding agent does not only reply back to you, but it shows you in detail how the agent is thinking, like how agent build the system prompt along with your user prompt, how the agent combined the system prompt, how it is sending the request to the large language model and giving the request back to you. The entire thinking process is shown to you on the user interface. I'll show both of these things. One, I'll explain you about harness very clearly. And another thing, I'll show you how detailed is the traceability on the user interface. And once I am done with this, I'll also show you how to customize the DeepSeek harness and build your very first plugin. Perfect. Let's get started. Let's start with understanding what exactly is harness and harness engineering. I'm sure you must be hearing about harness a lot of times these days. Let's make it simple. Imagine a large language model, a model like Fable, which is very powerful. But the performance of Fable also depends on the coding agent. Today you can use Fable with Cloud Code CLI. You can use Fable with Copilot as well. Which one performs better? Huh? You might have tried this before. If not, give the same prompt to Claude and Copilot, something like build a 3-tier architecture e-commerce application. Give the same thing to Claude, give the same thing to Copilot, use both of them with Fable. You will realize Claude Code performs much better. Why? You have provided both of them with the same prompt. The reason is that these coding agents do not directly send the same prompt to the large language model. There is a lot of engineering that goes into the coding agent. For example, along with your prompt, they add a system prompt. They add a lot of context. They read your code repository. Like if there is an existing repository, they read all the files in the code repository. And they perform a lot of other steps. And using all of this, they send the request to the large language model. And then LLM replies back. The reply of the LLM obviously depends on the context, the memory, and the prompt that is provided. That's why Fable performs much better with Cloud Code. Now, this exact thing, like whatever I explained here, this is nothing but this engineering is called as harness engineering. That's it. The word is fancied, but if you try to understand it, it is very simple. So basically, if I have to repeat this, large language models by default are very powerful, but they perform different with different coding agents. The reason is because the harness engineering of those coding agents. Now, why are we talking about this harness engineering? Because DeepSeek harness basically they have open sourced this entire thing, right? So that is the main reason why it became very, very viral. Cloud Code, we all know Cloud Code works very well, but we are not sure how it works internally, how exactly it is able to get a better response from the large language model. And that is what DeepSeek Harness has open sourced. Now you can go, you can look at the code, you can see how DeepSeek Harness takes your prompt, how it builds the system prompt, how it provides the context to the large language model, memory related things, everything internal that is happening related to the harness engineering. Now, is this the only reason why it became popular? Not really. There is another reason. Along with making the entire harness open source, they also made this entire thing customizable. So they build the harness in the plugin architecture. Everything is a plugin. Let's say you want to modify the harness. You can remove a plugin from the harness. Or maybe you want to add something to the harness. You can just add a new plugin. Let me explain it in easy terms for you. Imagine you just installed Deepseek harness. You ran it locally. It creates a web interface for you or a user interface for you, just like your Cloud Code user interface. Now, within this user interface, let's say you did not like the sidebar. You can just go to the plugin section and remove the sidebar. As simple as that. Or let's say, just like Cloud Code, they also have the plan mode. They also have the allow mode. You don't want the plan mode. Okay. You just want the write mode. You just want the allow mode. You can just disable the plan mode and you will never see the plan mode again. So you can modify the harness according to your and your organizational requirement. If you want 10 different modes, you can go ahead and create it. You want 50 different modes, you can go ahead and create it. I'll show you how we can modify the harness, when we go to the demo part. But for now, these are the two major advantages which made DeepSeek harness very, very popular. One, the harness is completely open source. Two, the harness is customizable. And along with all of this, every request is traceable. So if a user sends a prompt, you can see how harness is internally handling the user's prompt and sending that to the large language model. Now it's time for the demo. Let's see all of these things practically. So just search for DeepSeek harness. It's in developer preview. Even though it is in developer preview, it became so popular. You can either go to the developer docs or you can follow the steps that I'm going to explain. This is a command that you have to execute, or you can install from the source as well. I would recommend just run this npx or npm command. Take the terminal. So I'll pull my terminal. I will execute this command. I've already done it. I have DeepSeek running on my machine. So I'll just do dsh web. Now, when you run this command, it will automatically start the web interface for you. But from second time, you can just run dsh web. And this will start the DeepSeek harness locally. So this can be run completely locally as well. Or if you want, you can start a VPS or you can create a virtual machine and you can run it on top of that as well. But these are local AIs. I would recommend to use it on your personal machine. Okay, now this is started on 3080. Let's try to access it. Localhost colon 3080. There you go. That's it. Now we have the user interface. For the first time when you do it, it will ask you to provide the DeepSeek API key. It's okay if you want to ignore, just skip that step. Go to the settings. So your top left, you will see the settings option. Go to the settings, click on the models, and here you can put your model provider. In my case, I have DeepSeek model provider. I also have the OpenAI model provider. I've configured both of them. When you configure both of them, here you have an option of choosing the models. I can choose the GPT models from OpenAI or I can choose the DeepSeek models. Very basic. This is something that you get with most of the coding agents today. On the left side, you have these sessions. Like these are my previous sessions. I can always start a new session. I can create a temporary chat. Again, supported by most of the things. Now let's get to the actual part. When you provide a prompt, let's say you ask something like explain Kubernetes, of course you will get the response back, but you will find a different tab here called trajectory. So this is a response. You can see what is Kubernetes. If you go to the trajectory, you can also see how this request flows internally within the harness. This is what I was talking about. So this is the flow of the request. This is the initial system prompt by Deepseek. Very, very long prompt. If you want, you can go through it. And I would actually recommend you to go through it because you can understand the internals of agent runtime, agent framework, all that things. And then this is your user prompt. Very simple. Explain Kubernetes. Then this is a context that is provided. This is additional context as part of the system reminder, where they have provided something like if you have to use something like a database, go to Insport CLI and use the database. And finally, this is a response back from the assistant. So overall, you can learn a lot along with just learning about your question. So this is about the traceability or observability. Now let's understand what is this plugin architecture and how to customize DeepSeek harness. So if you go to the settings, you will find plugins. And if you go to the plugin list, you can see overall there are 160 plugins. This entire harness is built using this 160 plugins. If you want to disable something, as I told you, maybe you want to disable the sidebar. Just go ahead, search for sidebar. You will definitely find it. UI sidebar, you can disable it. At this moment, because it is in developer preview, maybe they did not add this feature from user interface, but you can do it from CLI. It took some time for me to figure out how to do it, but yeah, let me show you. So you can search for a DSH folder. Let me increase the font size. So, okay. So on your local, search for .dsh in the home directory or the installation directory. And then you can head to the profile section. By default, you are in the default profile. And here you just have to create something like cordis.patch.yaml. Cordis is a framework which is something that DeepSeek harness is built on top of. So cordis.patch.yaml, and you just have to put your patch file here. I'll share a reference patch file so that you can customize anything that you want. Like let's say you want to remove some plugin, you can do it. And once you do it, you just have to reload the DSH or rerun the DeepSeek harness. Now this is how you remove it. But let me show you something more interesting, how you can add something new. Let's say, I want to add something here on the user interface. While agent is working, I'm little bored. I want to play a game. Okay, I want to add something like a tic-tac-toe game here. This is also customizing your agent harness, right? You're customizing your agent. While it is working, I'm bored, so I want to add tic-tac-toe. How can I do it? Again, go back to settings, plugins, go to the agents presets and go to the creator mode. These are the different modes that you have. Standard mode, if you go to the standard mode, there are some plugins that are enabled by default. If you go to the PTC mode, there are some plugins that are enabled by default. If none of them suits you, you can go to the creator mode. I'm in the creator mode. So now I'll just go here and I will tell my agent, add a new plugin that adds a tic-tac-toe game on the DSH web UI so that I can use it while agent is working. Of course, my prompt could be better, but yeah. Now, this will do the same thing, just like how a regular coding agent works. So it will go through the source code of DeepSeek harness and it will implement a plugin for us. And here, right now you don't see it, but here you will see once the plugin is enabled, a section for the plugins. You will click on it and you will start playing the tic-tac-toe. Is there any valid use cases that you can go with? Definitely. Probably you can configure a mail notification system. You want to send some prompt output. Probably you want to send this, what is Kubernetes, to someone over an email. Instead of going to the mailbox, instead of doing something from the mailbox, you can just have your email box here, or you can have a Slack integration, anything according to your organizational requirement. Now the plugin is created, it's awaiting approval. For the first time, it failed for some reason, but when I ran the same prompt, it was successful. Now I can just approve this, and to my right, I have the tic tac toe. Like while I'm working with the agent, I can just go here and I can play the tic tac toe. Now, this is just for your example, how you can change the harness, how you can customize it. But as I told you, you can start building something productive, like probably adding a Slack integration, mail integration, adding observability for your uh, agent. Like you can calculate the number of tokens, how much cost each prompt is incurring to your organization. You can do all of that. And even for this plugin, you can go to the trajectory and you can see how exactly the plugin is built. If you're someone who is interested in development, you can see what steps are involved. And next time, instead of using a prompt, you can actually develop the plugin. This is the repository. Finally, if you want to learn more about Deepseek Harness, just like how I did, I went through the GitHub repository, I understood it. I'll share the link in the description. So I hope you found the video insightful. Once again, three important things. Number one, when it comes to Deepseek harness, they open source the entire agent harness. They made it customizable. Number two, and number three, you can just track every single request. You can look at the complete trajectory of your request. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section. See you all in the next one. Take care.